Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another Facebook Live. And it's Friday, so I hope everyone had a great week. I'm going to apologize now for my hair. It's getting a little out of control. It's been a while since I had a haircut. We're going to have to solve that problem ourselves this weekend. Hopefully, my wife will give me a haircut. It may not look perfect, but it's going to be better than what it looks like now. I can't take my long hair anymore. So that's one of the tasks on hand for this weekend. If anyone has things like that they're facing with the situation, like very simple things like getting a haircut is a challenge, I can definitely relate to that. I hope everyone had a great week, super productive and healthy and happy, and everyone's doing real good. I myself had quite a busy week this week. Lots of things going on with work-related things, both from a health coaching perspective and non-health coaching perspective. Yeah, lots of exciting stuff coming down the pipeline. I appreciate all the feedback that I've been getting from everyone about the content I've been putting out lately. I've been getting some good feedback about that, so feeling pretty good about that. Keep that coming. Positive or negative, I love hearing what people think about what I'm putting out there in the world. And today I was kind of at a loss for what to talk about on our Facebook Live on Friday. I love doing these, but sometimes it's a lot of pressure to kind of come up with what to talk about from week to week. And sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. This week was kind of hard until last night. When I was kind of reflecting on the past week, some of the content I looked over, and was talking with my coach, Dr. Mike Nelson, and he had said something to me which resonated with me. We were kind of talking about how I was handling all the stuff around COVID-19 and dealing with that stress and all that stuff. And he said a phrase that I actually heard earlier in the day from a different health influencer. And he said, basically, try to focus on what you can control. And earlier that day, Chris Kresser had sent out in his newsletter something along the same lines and said, basically, try to focus on what you control and don't focus on the stuff that you can't control. And I don't know why that didn't occur to me beforehand, because last week I was talking with my wife and just telling her, we were talking about the whole, COVID-19 thing. And I was telling her how kind of just uptight and stressed I was about it. And we were talking about some of the things that I was doing. And one of the things that I was doing was I was watching the news every day. And before this whole thing began, I never watched the news. I don't particularly care for the news. I think that I can get all the information I really need to get online, and I can kind of filter out just get the stuff that I really care about and not worry about anything else. And for a reason, when this whole virus pandemic started, I felt like I needed to watch the news to see what was happening, to keep up to date, to make sure I was on top of the ball, because it was kind of a scary situation. I want to know how it was going to impact me, my family, my job, and all the stuff, and the people I care about. And I just started consuming the news every day, and that's how I would kind of start my day off. And then it got to the point where it was really everywhere. You couldn't go do anything on Facebook. You couldn't read your email. You couldn't, just watch TV, just even if you weren't watching the news, without hearing something related to the whole COVID-19 virus situation. And it was just starting to overwhelm me too much. And she suggested that I just stop with the news. And I did that this week, and that kind of helped. Then when Dr. Mike had said, just worry about the things that are in your control, I realized that what I was doing by watching the news was giving up my control and worrying about a lot of stuff that was out of my control. Like I was worrying about what the governor of my state was going to say the next day at his press conference, or what the president was going to say at his press conference, or how many people total are now infected and how many people are recovered, and the hospital situation, and the unemployment rate, and all these things that I realize are really outside of my control and I have no influence over. And I was worrying about them, and for no reason, right? Because it wasn't anything that I could dictate, right? And as I thought more about this, I was like, well, it's kind of like worrying about what the weather is going to be the next day, right? Like you have no control over the weather, right? You can hope and pray and that the next day the weather is going to be nice, but you don't have any control whether it's going to snow or rain or be windy outside or whatnot, right? So there's no point in stressing about it, right? Because there's nothing you can do about it. Similar, like you can't control the fact that the gyms are closed, right? Or your restaurants are closed, or maybe you go to the grocery store and certain items that you would normally get at the grocery store are not available, right? These are all things that are kind of outside of your control. And unfortunately, they're not givens right now. It's not given that the gym's going to be open, and it's not given that when you go to the grocery store, the frozen vegetables that you usually get are going to be there. It's not given that your kids are going to go back to school this year. You have that type of stuff, right? So worrying about these things just tends to add more stress and more pressure to your life than there needs to be, right? So instead of focusing on the things that you can't control, focus on the things that you can control. And I feel like that shift in that mindset alone is going to make you feel, and has made me feel, a lot better over the past week. I'm not 100%, stress-free, like just like I was before this whole thing started, but I'm definitely feel a little bit better this week than I did the past few weeks. And focusing on things that you can control, like, all right, I can't go to the gym. The gym is closed, but I can go outside, right? I can still be active. I can go outside for a walk. I can still do push-ups. I can still do lunges. I can still do burpees. I can do planks. I can do air squats. I can do things that, yeah, maybe I'm not deadlifting 300 pounds, but I'm being active and still moving my body in some way, right? That is under your control. Eating a healthy diet is still under your control, right? Yeah, you can go to the grocery store and maybe they don't have the vegetables that you want, but there is still food there, and there's still a lot of healthy food there, at least in the area that I am in, and I hope where you are too. So just don't give in to, going to the grocery store and buying a bunch of junk food. Still, control your diet, right? Eat as healthy as you possibly can. I'm not saying stress about it or freak out about it or be like it's probably not the time to just go on some super strict new diet regimen, right? But you still have control as to whether you dive face first into a cake or not, right? So continue to eat a healthy diet. You have control over your time, right? Manage your time better. I think one of the best things you can probably do in times of added stress is to stick to a routine. Make sure you have a routine set up. So if you don't have a routine, try to establish a routine of some time to give some structure to your day and manage your time a little better. Go outside, get some sunlight. You have control over that, right? Okay, yeah, you can't control whether it's cloudy outside, but you can still go outside or make an effort to get outside and be outside in nature, which is super relaxing. And social interactions, right? Make the choice to interact with people at a safe distance if you're going to do it in person, or set up Zoom or Skype calls or FaceTime calls with family members to talk to them if you find that stuff very relaxing and comforting. Definitely do that. And of course, your stress management practices. You have control over those too, right? Now is the time to prioritize them and make them front of mind and something that you still focus on and put a lot of emphasis into doing. So like I said, like we need to look at the things that we have control over and worry about those, and kind of put the things that we don't have control over out of our mind, and not use them for added stress or anything like that. My daughter is joining us. Do you want to say hi, Reagan?
Hi.
See, I have no control over whether she's going to walk into the office in the middle of doing a Facebook Live. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go with the flow and ask her to say hi. How are you doing today?
Good.
Good. What were you doing upstairs?
Upstairs?
Were you upstairs?
No.
Oh, I thought you were upstairs. All right, you want to say bye?
Bye.
Yeah, so just focus on what you can. Do worry about the things that you have control over, and the stuff you don't, try to put it outside of your focus, right? Outside of your zone of comfort, or and don't stress about it. If that means stopping watching news, getting off social media, etc., so be it, right? That's what I've done. I have not watched the news once this week, and I'm perfectly fine. And I feel like I'm still informed and know everything that's going on and not missing out on anything. So, and I feel better for it. So with that, I'm going to sign off for the week. And before I do that, I just encourage everyone to, again, if you need any help or looking for some coaching, please reach out to me. I still have one spot available to take on as a client, so please reach out, and we can talk about that, set up a discovery call, just talk some more about what you're looking for. Also, be sure to sign up for my newsletter. Again, lots of great content has been going out there weekly. Usually send it out on Sundays. So keep an eye out for that. You can go to my website, rjbhealth.coach, and click the newsletter link at the top to sign up. And as always, appreciate everyone watching. Give me some feedback. Shoot me a message either here in the comments or direct message me. And happy to talk some more. I hope everyone has a good weekend and a good week, and talk to you all soon.